Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the last day of August. It's August 31st, 2025, and I thought I would just jump on here and do a goodbye August live stream. I hope you're having a very good weekend. It's what? Sunday. So hopefully you had a great weekend so far, relaxing. Hopefully you didn't have to work. Now, Karina, she was working this weekend. So I decided to do a live stream anyway and see what questions you might have, to see if we can catch up on any questions from yesterday. Now, this live stream is open to everybody. Okay, this isn't a live stream for subscribers. This is a live stream for anybody who wants to ask me questions regarding K1 visas, green cards, spousal visas, etc. Because there's so many changes that are going on, and I never, it's not necessary for you to subscribe to this channel. You don't have to like anything on this channel. It's just here for information to help you get through this process without paying an immigration attorney. So I just opened it up to everybody today. So if there's any persons who are not subscribed to this channel, here's an opportunity for you to ask me some questions if you're going through the K1 visa green card application. I figured I'd talk for maybe 30 minutes, talk maybe for an hour, and see if you guys have any questions. I've got the Maggie Pixie dust ready to go, and I'm going to go ahead and I think this microphone, maybe I should bring it closer, but I bring it closer. Does it sound better if I talk closer to the microphone? I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll bring the microphone a little bit closer, and it's a little easier for you to hear what I'm saying, a little bit more clarity. Tomorrow is September 1st, and this year has gone by so quick. God's Power Thomas, good evening. Mr. Diego, how is Karina? Karina's good. She's doing well. She worked all day today, so she's resting right now. In fact, she got home. She started doing stuff around the house. So I thought I would just jump on here and entertain you guys to see if let me turn the speaker on, to see if you have any questions. Now, God's Power Thomas, you did the right thing in, the processing, the paperwork. You followed the directions that immigration sent you in that letter they mailed to you. And I'm glad that you didn't follow the advice of that immigration attorney, because the immigration attorney would have sent you down the wrong road, and you would have ended up in a worse problem than what happened already. So we fixed it. Okay, you did good. Your wife did good, and all you can do now is wait and see what happens. You did a good letter explanation. You got a good joint sponsor. His income is more than sufficient to cover your family size, and everything's going to be all right. Karina was working today, so she's not on the live stream. Tomorrow is Labor Day, so it's a holiday. So I don't know if I'll do a live stream tomorrow or not. So I just opened it up today for everybody. So if you're watching this live stream, if you are not a subscriber to this channel, that's perfectly fine. You can ask me questions regarding K1 visas. I don't open it up to anybody very often, but today I figured I'd do that just to see what I can do to, there's some folks out there who don't like to subscribe to YouTube channels, and that's fine. You don't have to. And God's Power Thomas, will USCIS send me any information on my account? When they receive the paperwork, they will send you a notice. They'll mail you an I-797. They'll mail you a notice saying they received your paperwork. Okay, but you got to be patient during this process. You got to just let them do their thing and let them adjudicate the information that you sent them. The mistake was on the 864 and the joint sponsor. I'm trying to explain to people now that immigration is not. They're very strict now on the income. But you found a good joint sponsor, and the paperwork you filled out was good, no problems. I reviewed it. You're a member of the channel, so that means you were able to call me and text me, and I was able to review the paperwork for you. There's no problems with what you submitted. Now it's just up to immigration to make the decision with your case. Okay, you did everything that you were supposed to do. All you can do is wait. Be patient. Give them, 45 days or so 50 days, somewhere in there. And we got to put some MAGA pixie dust all over your case so we can get some good results. We don't want to see you fail. We want to see you stay with your new wife in the United States. And I don't think it's going to be a problem, actually. I think what I saw, the way you responded professionally, but that immigration attorney was sending you down the wrong road. Okay? Now, I'm not an immigration attorney and I don't give you legal advice. I don't work for USCIS, but I have 12 years experience processing green cards. Okay? I can do this in my sleep. I can do it on a siesta, and K1 visas also. Now, I don't know anything about student visas. I got no clue about student visas, but I can help you with your K1 visa applications, your green card applications, etc. And if you get into any problems, okay, and if you don't want to hire an immigration attorney, then I can help you with that too. But remember, I don't give you legal advice. I give you 12 years of my experience. So how many immigration attorneys that you know of has actually filed a K1 visa and brought a foreign national to America and got married in the 90 days and did everything that you guys are going through? You know, if you get the urge to hire an immigration attorney and pay them a humongous amount of money, ask the attorney, have you ever brought a foreign national to the United States and got married to that person? See what they say, right? That's what I would do. See what they say. They might say yes. If they do, you know, then that's great. But 9 times out of 10, an immigration attorney is going to say, no, I never married a foreign national. The only thing I've done is paperwork. Well, you can do that. You know, okay, they passed the bar exam. They went to law school. Very good. I give them a Mountain Dew salute for that. But this paperwork isn't difficult. The paperwork's not difficult. You just got to make sure you qualify for the benefit, okay? And you guys know what you have to do to qualify for the benefit. I don't have to keep repeating myself after each live stream to tell you what to do in regards to qualifying to get your K1 visa approved. But don't forget, things are changing. Immigration rules are changing. Times are changing. It's getting harder and harder and stricter. So make sure when you get your K1 visa package together, you've got a ton of evidence to submit to USCIS. And effective October 25th, you're no longer going to be able to write a check or a money order to pay for your benefit, your K1 visa fees. You're not effective October 25th. It's all going to be done with a Form G 1650. You have to give immigration your bank account number, whether it's your checking or savings account number. You got to give them the routing number to your bank. And that's how you're going to be paying for your K1 visas and green cards, 2-year, 10-year, lifting conditions, etc. That's how you're going to be paying for your green cards and all immigration paperwork. I don't recommend you use a credit card because your bank 9 times out of 10 won't recognize the charge. So you fill out the paperwork to pay with your credit card. Your bank gets the charge from immigration. The bank says, what the heck is this? I don't know what this is. And they block the transaction. Then that slows down the processing of your green card and your K1 visa. So don't use a credit card. Use this new process where you have to fill out this form and give immigration your bank account number, your checking or savings account, routing number, etc. Sign the paperwork. Make sure you put in the correct amount that you're going to bill, that you're paying for. If right now, if you're going to lift the conditions off of your 2-year green card for a 10-year green card, the cost is $750 as of August 31st, 2025. That's how much it costs. When you fill out the paperwork in October, in October, November, you're going to be lifting the conditions. Make sure you put in the correct amount in the little block on this new form that immigration has created. It's good advice. I don't see any immigration attorneys putting out this information that I'm putting out there. They're not doing it. They're putting out YouTube videos scaring you, trying to scare you into hiring them, which, business is business, right? But I want you to be able to do this for free. That's why I made the channel. That's why we're doing this. That's why I sit here and give you this information. Okay? For free. Unless you join as a member. If you want to sign up as a member, that's perfectly okay too. Then you can call me. If you get a question, you can call me, text me, and email me. That's the purpose of the membership. Not because I want your money. It's not that I need your money. It's not that. That's not the reason. It's so I know who's got my email and my phone number. That's the only reason that I created the membership. Otherwise, if I could put my phone number out here publicly for free, I would do it. But that would be dangerous for the channel, right? Just, it's just a matter of protecting the YouTube channel. Now, Karina's, my beautiful wife, is from Venezuela. We went through the K1 visa process first, right at the tail end of COVID. So it took our case a little bit longer to get adjudicated because of COVID. But we didn't throw in the towel. We didn't quit. We kept patiently waiting. And I went to Bogota, Colombia. I lived there for a long time with Karina, rented an apartment, kept the rent receipts from the apartment, took lots of pictures with her family and friends, and put all this in the K1 visa application. When you get to the United States, the first thing you want to do is apply for your Social Security number. That's the first thing you want to do. You get your I-94, you print your I-94 off the Border Patrol website, get your I-94, get your passport, go to the Social Security office, set an appointment, get your Social Security number. Then you can get on the bank account as a joint owner, as a joint member. That's the number one thing you want to do is to commingle funds together. Because when you apply for your 10-year green card in 2 years from now, the first thing immigration is going to check is when did you open your bank account? Together. Juntos. When did you open up your bank account together? If you opened up your bank account together a month before you apply for your 10-year green card, that's a massive red flag with immigration. That's a big problem. They're going to wonder why did you wait so long to get a joint bank account with your new husband or wife who's a U.S. citizen? First thing you do, you get to America, you get your I-94, you set an appointment with the Social Security office, get a Social Security number, and become a joint owner on joint bank accounts. Okay? Then what are you going to do? Then you're going to start getting on the bills, like the water bill, the electric bill, the trash bill. Get library cards, work on that kind of stuff. Get a Sam's Club card. Both together. The American citizen sponsor will be the joint member of the Sam's Club, but you can be a secondary member. You get 2 Sam's Clubs cards, put them together, make a picture of it, put it in the 2-year green card application. Take some pictures a few days before you file for your 2-year green card with family and friends. So what's today? August 31st, 2025. Let's suppose you're going to file for your 2-year green card September 15th. September 12th, September 13th, get a bunch of pictures with family and friends. Print them off on your computer or go to Walmart and print them off at Walmart and write down the date when the pictures were taken, where and who's in the pictures, and put those in your 2-year green card application. We had pictures taken together, Karina and I, in this little village in Florida. And I put those in the day before we mailed her 2-year green card application. What's up, Rooster? Diego. What's up, Diego? Says Rooster. How's Rooster? How's your family? What's going on? How's everybody? We got 2 folks posting today, and both of you guys are members of this channel. And Karina and I, we appreciate that you signed up as members. We appreciate that. And I'm able to give you my phone number and my email, and you can call me anytime you want. Like God's Power Thomas was calling me, and we fixed the problem. Didn't have to wait for a live stream. Everything's good here in Mississippi, says Rooster. We had a good year so far. It's almost September, and we haven't had any hurricanes come in to the Gulf of America. No hurricanes in the Gulf of America so far. So we've been pretty lucky in 2025, which is good news. And especially for the folks in Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, and also here in the Panhandle of Florida, right? So You know, it is what it is with the climate in the tropics. One of the things you got to think about when you come to the United States is to focus on assimilating into this country, focus on becoming an American, focus on, you know, becoming a U.S. citizen. That's what you want to do. Rooster says, I'm still in the waiting mode for the interview. Well, let's do this. We got to put more MAGA pixie dust on Rooster. How about that? I can give you a Mountain Dew salute, but there's no Mountain Dew in there because I'm not allowed to drink Mountain Dew. And I'm on a 24-hour fast, actually. So far, I'm on hour 20. Let me see, it's 5:19. I'm on hour 22 without any food in my belly. I've gone 22 hours fasting so far. And that's basically one way to repair your body if you want to get. So instead of eating, I'm using what body fat I got on my waist as food. Because when I was in the yard doing yard work today, I hadn't eaten any food, and my stomach became the fat on my gut became the new energy and was turning into glucose. So I didn't have to eat anything. That's just to help, you know, to lose some more weight. I lost 10 pounds already. I want to get another 10 pounds off my body. Then I'm good. Rooster, my wife got an online account. We are going to scan and send life insurance to her account. Okay. Things you want to include in your 2-year green card application is proof of health insurance, proof of joint bank accounts, proof of life insurance, you know, either or in regards to who's going to be the beneficiary. You want to get on the title to cars. Now, if you lease a car, you can still get your name on the lease agreement to the vehicles to show joint ownership of the car, the joint ownership of the lease. You know, when you lease a car, you're basically renting it. If you get a 4-year or 3-year lease on the vehicle, you're renting the car. And when the lease is up, you bring it back to the car dealership and turn it back in, or you can buy the car out, whatever you want to do. And Rooster, you got a 401k together. Very good. That's good. Now, if you got some money in the bank, now is a good time to buy a certificate of deposit, because by mid-September, I got a feeling interest rates are going to come down. The lending rates are going to come down, okay, which means certificate of deposit interest rates are going to get reduced. So now is a good time, in the next week or so is a good time to buy a certificate of deposit with your beneficiary. Get both names on the CD, okay? You could probably get a 4% CD right now, I'm pretty sure. But in 2 weeks from now, you're probably lucky to get a 2%, just my opinion. I'm not a CPA, but from what I'm thinking is going to happen, okay? Include that in your 2-year green card or 10-year green card application. If you can get a joint CD together, make sure that you include it in your 2-year and or your 10-year green card application. Once you become eligible for citizenship, start looking at becoming a citizen. Now, there's African Village Girl. HP says, hello, Rooster. And hello to African Village Girl. What's going on? And what country are you in, or are you in the United States? Where are you at? Which country? Tell everybody which country, so people know which country you're living in. You know, Rooster's in Mississippi. I'm in Florida. And, you know, people are kind of interested where you guys are at. I don't know. Karina and I are doing great. I've got the yard all caught up. Your 401k is getting over 4%. Yeah, that's great. That's because interest rates are high right now. The Federal Reserve jacked up interest rates, which basically put a block on people buying new cars, buying houses. It's not, you know, when interest rates go real high, people don't want to buy a house or buy a car, a new car. But CD rates go up too. So now is a good time to invest in a CD or 401k. Okay. Or, I don't know, the stock market, you could do that too, if you want to do that. But what immigration is looking for is commingling funds. You don't want to open up a bank account with your beneficiary 2 months before you apply for your 10-year green card. You don't want to do that. That's not good. It's going to be a problem. You want to keep collecting pictures. You want to keep doing stuff together. I'll take Corinna on vacation. I took her to Nevada and Arizona in March. I think we'll go maybe somewhere else in January. In the middle, like middle of January, I'll take her somewhere for a vacation. And we'll get pictures together and also keep the plane tickets and the hotel receipts. That stuff's going in her 10-year green card application. And we're going to apply for Corinna's 10-year green card in March 26th, 27th, 28th, somewhere in there. That's when we're going to do that. So if you start collecting evidence now for your 10-year green card, you just got your 2-year green card, right? You're all happy and you're like, oh, I'm going to take a break from immigration. No, you cannot. You don't take a break. You keep on collecting the evidence, keep on collecting. And then when you get ready for the 10-year green card application, you got a bunch of, you're ready to go. You've got document protectors already loaded up. God's Power Thomas, Mr. Diego, I forgot to include my wife and I's life insurance and my fishing certificate on my response with the I-29B to you. Don't worry about it. No, you're good. Don't worry about it. When you responded, they are just interested in the income. They're not interested in your life insurance with your wife. They're not interested in your fishing certificate, although well done on getting that. Save that information for the 10-year green card. Right now, they're just focused on your income with your joint sponsor. That's all they're interested in. So you're good, God's Power Thomas. Relax, okay? Just relax. Rooster, I just bought more document protectors. There you go. Go to Walmart or Office Depot, buy like 200, set a goal to have at least 300 pieces of evidence for your 10-year green card application. A minimum of 300 pieces of evidence. That's going to be bank statements, bills, photos, things like that. And when you file for your 10-year green card, you don't have to include the I-94. You don't have to get another medical exam. But you do have to get a medical exam for the 2-year green card. Just go get it done, do it, get it over with, pay the money. Remember, the green card application is not cheap. Dating somebody overseas is not a cheap process. It's expensive. Plane, visits back and forth to see each other, trips to see each other, sending your beneficiary money once a month. So if you have just started a K-1 visa application, send your beneficiary like $100 a month in Western Union or whatever, some kind of money transfer. Once a month, send money to your beneficiary. Then you keep the receipts from the Western Union transfers, okay? Then when you go to your K-1 visa interview at the embassy, you're going to have evidence of financial support of your beneficiary. You're engaged to get married, right? You're going to marry this person. You want to show proof of financial support. I don't care if your beneficiary is a millionaire living in Canada. Doesn't matter. Or Australia or Africa. Send $100 a month. Show financial support for your beneficiary. Keep the receipts. So if it takes 10 months or 11 months to get the K-1 visa adjudicated and everything, you're going to have 10 or 11 Western Union receipts every month showing where you sent financial support to your beneficiary. Rooster, she's using her bank cards a lot now. She has to. When you marry somebody, you get them on your bank. Your new wife from whatever country or husband has to show usage of the credit card, the debit card. When you get your bank statements every month, it should show you, Mr. American Citizen Sponsor, buying stuff at Walmart, and your new wife or husband buying stuff at Walmart or Publix or Kmart or Piggly Wiggly or wherever the hell it is. Kevin Cameron, good evening, Diego. How long is the wait after sending in adjustment of status? Now it's getting between 3 to 5 months. It's speeding up a little bit. Okay? The process is getting faster for 2-year green card applications. it's still 21 months waiting for the 10-year green card. 21 months is the average wait time to adjudicate a 10-year green card. But by then, you know, when you file for your 10-year green card, you're going to get an automatic 36-month extension on your 2-year green card. So you got your 2-year green card. You make a copy of the front and the back, and you're going to include it in your 10-year green card application. As soon as immigration receives payment, you're going to get a 797 saying they received your application. And then you get that letter will give you a 36-month extension on your 2-year green card that's getting ready to expire in the next 3 months. Okay? So you can continue working at your job. You still have a 36-month extension on your green card. But you got to show your employer, hey, I've just filed for my 10-year green card. Here's a letter I got from immigration that's extending my 2-year green card. Immigration's already updated that information in their system. Then your employer is going to say, okay, you're good to go. You can keep on working. Even though your green card is showing expired, you got a letter saying that it's been extended. So how's Kevin Cameron? How is everything going with your family? How's everybody doing? And where African Village go? Which country are you from? Or don't you want to tell anybody? You don't have to if you don't want to. But, you know, some folks are interested to know where everybody's watching from. I'm in the panhandle of Florida. I'm close to Pensacola. That's the biggest city, I guess you'd call it. And Karina, she learned, she got her driver's license. She learned how to drive already. So she's doing great. And in September, be here tomorrow. Actually, in the next, in about 7-8 hours. It's going to be September 1st. Another month is gone. August is history. You're now a month closer to your K-1 visa getting approved, like Maru, whose fiance lives in Cameroon. You know, and Pete B yesterday gave Karina and I a fantastic super chat. We appreciate that. I mean, that was wonderful. I was really surprised, but I want to give Pete B a thank you for that. He's probably not watching right now, but we appreciate the super chats. That was very nice. The thing with this green card process is that immigration and the administration isn't trying to stop you from coming to the United States. They're just making sure the process is done correctly. All right, that's the bottom line. Rooster, my wife, she is not ready to drive here yet. I was in Colombia 3 years. I was never ready to drive in Bogota, Colombia. Day one to the last day I was in Colombia, I was not ready to drive there. It's crazy driving over there. You got to be born and raised in Bogota to be able to drive in Bogota, in my opinion. So I can understand if your wife is not ready to drive here yet, but you got to get her learning to drive. You got to get her in the process. Have her take the sign test. Take the exam for the signs. Pass that, get that out of the way. But you got to get her driving. Even if she's not ready, you got to get her ready. Okay? She's got to get a driver's license. That's independence in the United States right there. A driver's license is one more key to it being independent in this country. Without a driver's license, it's difficult to do stuff. That's the primary government issued ID that people use to do simple things. Open a bank account, get on a plane, stuff like that. Register to vote when she becomes a citizen. So try to overcome her fear. She's a good driver, but the traffic scares her. Well, traffic scares Karina too, but she had to learn to drive. She had to get a driver's license. Got to do it. Got to overcome the fear. You know, get her learning to drive in a parking lot of a church. Take her to go out, find somewhere where there's not much traffic. Okay, but you got to listen to me, Rooster. She has to get her driver's license. Whether she's scared of traffic or not, she's going to have to get over that. Because in this country, besides your green card, the driver's license is critical. Okay, immigration is going to be looking for it when you apply for her 10-year green card. Now, when Karina applied for her 2-year green card, she didn't have her driver's test done yet. It took her 6 months to learn how to drive. But after she learned how to drive, she took the exam, she took the driver's test, and she did great. But I do most of the driving. I do most of the driving to keep her off the road. But you got to get her the license, okay? Once she gets her driver's license, doesn't mean she has to drive. You can continue being the primary driver on the road, but she needs to get it. Is a green card required for a driver's license? In the state of Florida, yes. In the state of Florida, you got to have a green card or a work permit to get a driver's license. If you have a green card in Florida, you get issued with a driver's license for 7 years. If you have a work permit, you get it for the duration of the work permit, however long that is. But yes, you got to have a green card in the state of Florida to get a driver's license. So Karina got to the United States. She got her I-94. She got her social security number. She got on the bank. Bank statements started coming in with her name on it. Then she got her work permit. She got a job the next day, right away. Then she got her green card 3 weeks later. Then she was ready to start learning to drive. It got 6 months in. She passed her test first time. So Rooster says you are still waiting for both. Okay, that's fine, but you can take her into a church parking lot. Go give the church a donation. Doesn't have to be a church, it could be your friend's private property. But I would go find a church parking lot with a big, massive parking lot, and get her used to driving your car, which is now both of your cars, because she's going to be on the title, right? You're putting her on the title, and that's going to go in the 2-year green card application. Getting a green card is not difficult as long as you qualify and as long as you put together a very strong application. Okay? Immigration, the primary thing they're looking for is this relationship real? Are you really in this relationship because you love each other, or are you helping each other get an immigration benefit? That's why the process is so strict. Then the second thing they're looking at is, are you going to be able to support your beneficiary, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor? Immigration don't want people coming to this country and then become dependent on the government for handouts. That's not how it's going to work. That's why it's so strict. That's why the income requirements are strict. Okay? That's the reason. But you guys can do it. I got confidence in you. I got faith in you. Maybe I should start making some new videos on how to process the 2-year green card, on how to process the 10-year, how to put together a K-1 visa application. Maybe I should make a video. But I don't know if I've overdone that. Maybe that's a boring video for you guys. Maybe you just like the live streams. It's more interesting than me making videos. I don't know. But when something changes with immigration, I make a video and put it out there so you guys can get it first and watch the video, and you be the first to know. Oh, this has changed. I got to make sure I do this so I don't make a mistake. All right? 0 errors now in paperwork for green card applications. You cannot make a paperwork error. If you do, it's going to be denied. Rooster, got plenty of money, but my memory is not what it used to be. Well, if your memory is not what it used to be, that's you and me both. Okay? But you got a wife that's going to keep you reminded of stuff. My wife, Karina, she reminds me of stuff all the time. Oh, you got to do this. And, okay, that's right. I forgot. Alex Corral, can you shout out my friend Benito Camilo from Tijuana? He loves your streams. Hey, okay, Alexis Corral. Benito, ¿cómo estás? So Benito, your friend Benito Camelo from Tijuana, and he likes to, and he loves the live streams. Well, we're glad you're watching the live streams there in Tijuana, Benito. And Karina, my wife, she's from Venezuela. She speaks fluent Spanish, obviously. My Spanish is fairly okay. And we hope you and your family are doing good in Tijuana. It's a great place for Americans to come visit and spend some money, right? Beautiful part of Mexico. And so Benito Camelo, today's live stream is open to everybody. So I didn't restrict it only to subscribers. Rooster, every day. Yeah, every day. Karina reminds me of doing stuff too. You know, I'm looking for something in the closet and she moved it somewhere else. I'm like, where is it? She, oh, I moved it. That's fine. That's perfectly normal. Karina rearranged the kitchen for Karina. It's Karina's kitchen. It's her kitchen. She rearranged it. And then I got to go find where everything's at. But once I learned where everything was at, I was good to go. All right. I gave her, give her ownership of the kitchen. And the only thing I really could look out for is the garage. And I'm fixing to paint the floor in the garage next month in the middle of September. I'm going to totally redo the garage floor like it's the showroom floor of a Mercedes-Benz car dealership. That's how I'm going to turn the garage floor. Then I'll put a little couch in there. And when the car drives in there, it's going to be like I'm back when I'm selling Mercedes-Benz again. Although I don't have a Mercedes. I had a Mercedes once, but the servicing, the maintenance, and the oil changes were absolutely ridiculous. The cost to do an oil change on a Mercedes was ridiculous. So I had a Mercedes. I had it for 2 years. Then I sold it. I sold it back to the dealership. I said, hey, I'm an employee here, and it's still costing me an arm and a leg just to get a freaking oil change. So I went back to a regular American car instead of a German car. But, I'm going to do the garage floor. Rooster, everything's been rearranged here. Got to ask where stuff is now. Yeah, I had to do the same thing. I'm looking for something in the fridge, and it's no longer up here. It's over here. And that's all good. Karina took ownership of the house. It's her house and it's my house. She's co-equal owner of this property, and that includes the kitchen, and it's her kitchen. When you bring somebody over to the United States from a foreign country and you love the person, and you marry the person, you want to make sure you take good care of the person and give them the most secure life you can give them. Put them on your life insurance. Put them on your health insurance. Get them on the title to your car or RV or motorcycle, whatever. So make sure that you have somebody in the wings on standby who knows how to lift the conditions off of a 2-year green card onto a 10-year green card. Let's suppose, God forbid, one of the American citizen sponsor gets into an accident and goes to heaven, and something happens, and then your beneficiary from whichever country is now a widow living in the United States. Make sure you have plans in place for that scenario. Have somebody in the wings ready to fill out the I-751 as a sponsor to lift the conditions off of her 2-year green card if something happens to the sponsor. Okay, now I'm sure nothing's going to happen. But what if something happens to the sponsor? You got to have a backup plan in place until your beneficiary becomes a U.S. citizen. When your beneficiary is a U.S. citizen, then you don't have to worry about immigration anymore, right? Rooster, when she is cooking, I am told to stay out. There you go, which is getting used to. Well, here's the deal in our house, in our kitchen, Karina's kitchen. When I'm cooking something, she stays out of the kitchen. When she's cooking something, I stay out of the kitchen because too many cooks spoil the broth, right? And you don't want to be moving around with hot frying pans and moving back and forth to the fridge over here, trying to make a dish. and there's another person in their freaking way. So when I'm cooking, she stays out of the kitchen. But most of the time she's in there doing her thing. So I stay out of there. And she's loving the United States. She was used to living in the mountains of Venezuela, on the side of a mountain, surrounded by nothing but desert and trees, and with a 1 hour ride to the city. Then she moved to Bogota, Colombia, a big city, 10,200 something feet above sea level. Then she was used to a big city life, taxis, buses, traffic, unbelievable traffic. Now she's here in the panhandle of Florida, where I think the traffic sucks, but to her, it's nothing. Rooster, she said the wife's job is cooking, cleaning, and laundry. Yeah, well, you can, if that's what she is saying, but you can help her out. Help her out. That's how she is taking responsibility for her part of the relationship between you and her, which is good. Got to make sure she's feeling important, and that and that you're giving her that opportunity. When Karina today, she got off of work and she cleaned the living room and the kitchen floor with this big old mop thing, with this liquid. I don't know what it is. And I stayed out of her way. I didn't want to interfere. And then compliment her on the work that she's done. She was raised that way, right? That's right. It's a teamwork effort, right? Husband and wife is a teamwork effort. And she's doing good. She's taking care of you really well. Karina takes good care of me. I take good care of her. It's a joint effort. Anyway, I've been talking for almost 45 minutes. Do we have any questions regarding K-1 visas, green cards, spousal visas? It's the last day of August. August is gone. Now you got to focus on September, which is another month closer to Maru getting her K-1 visa approved, Karina getting a month closer to applying for her 10-year green card, you getting closer, Rooster, and Kevin, and God's Power Thomas, to getting your stuff done. Count the months, not the days. If you count days, you go crazy. Just count the months. Another month gone, right? Okay. Today is August 31st, 2025. I'm going to log off and go. I've been gone almost 23 hours. I'm almost at 23 hours without any food. And so I'm going to start cooking my dinner starting probably around 6:30. And Brewster says American women are not that way. Well, not all American women. There's some American women who, want to be a team player and share responsibility, but there's some who are not. But my experience with families in Latin America, I was in Colombia for 3 years. My experience with my family, who is now moving back to Venezuela because the United States Navy is fixing to get this Mr. Maduro gentleman a new place to live, I'm thinking, my opinion. So my family in Colombia is starting to move back to Venezuela slowly, hoping that Maduro is removed from power by his own recognizance, hopefully. And the Latin women and the Latin families I've dealt with are, basically stay home, take care of the house, run the house, and the husband goes to work and brings the money and makes the bacon. That's what I noticed in Colombia. But there are capitalists in Colombia, female business owners, like Karina's friend Mihai. She's a business owner, she runs a company, her own stores in Bogota. It all depends. Anyway, I'll see you guys. If you want, I'll do a live stream tomorrow at 6 p.m. if you want me to. It's a holiday though. You may have other plans with your family. You may not want to go hang out with me, but if you do, maybe I'll stop by. Same in the Philippines. Well, we'll give everybody in the Philippines watching this a big thumbs up and kumusta ka, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.